What's going on, everybody? We had a nice one today trading ExxonMobil. I hope you guys got some money. I hope from yesterday's video you were able to catch some levels. Um, I fumbled the bag a little bit in terms of leaving money on the table, but it was good to know that the technical analysis yesterday was pretty solid. I got some nice feedback from some people whose opinion I respect and whose market acumen I respect. And so, we're going to keep it going. So let's get right into it. What I do want to discuss first is some news that we got yesterday that most likely influenced the move today or even the sell off today to start off the market. So, crude oil inventory, crude oil inventories data came out yesterday at 10:30 a.m. So just to give you some background, and we'll go into the news article, the crude oil inventory is a change in the number of barrels of crude oil held in inventory by commercial firms during the past week. The forecast for the crude oil inventories was about negative zero point 0.3 million barrels to negative zero point 0.5 million barrels. That was the forecast from like the analysts, building their thesis. But it came in at negative 4.5 million, which is basically, over. It beat that expectation. So they had it around negative half a million. Negative 4.5 million was actually the inventory. So it just makes it, more of a great newsworthy day for this particular stock. Trading this stock, I got faked out by these dojis here that you see. When we opened up the market, we opened up on a sell. If you could see in the pre-market from yesterday's close, we sold off. We sold off into a level of support that we always have been discussing this week, which was 111.69. I gotta move closer so I don't make no mistakes. But we sold off into a support level of 111.69 as far as where you see the body of the candlestick, but we actually touched 111.33. If you could see that down here, we touched 111.33, which tested the bottom of that major channel that we were speaking about yesterday. You see that major channel right here, this black line going at the 50-degree angle. And we built a smaller channel to show you how the progression of your trade could have went, having caught the proper support level. And I'll talk about the contract that I discussed yesterday as well. But getting right back into it, we went to a high of $113.97. We tested that high, we fizzed out, we dojied out, we came back to a level of support. This level of support had two touches, so I marked this out for intraday support. It's also acting as resistance in the aftermarket, and so we'll see how the stock responds to this level tomorrow. And just like we did yesterday, if you look below this red line here, this was a level of support that we drew from yesterday's intraday session, and you can see it played out perfectly at the beginning of the trading day. By 11 o'clock, the stock found its way back to this level of support, and it began to rip. A contract that I was in, which was the 116 call for October 27th, I got in at 70, but these dojis and this chop, it kind of shook me out. Get out of here, Nat. So this doji and this chop kind of shook me out, and I got impatient and I just got off. But I got the arrow right here because this was the one that kind of started my suspicion about today. But I didn't even listen to myself. So sometimes you gotta play yourself over in your head, and this is also why I'm making these videos to try to keep myself honest and remember what I said yesterday, because it's hard. Like, you're doing a whole bunch of things, you can't remember what you ate 15 minutes ago. So at the end of the day, this was a nice trade. We built this channel just to show you how the trade went, and then we built another downtrend to show you that rejection off the high of day. So we're gonna mark this level out. We marked the intraday support out, and we marked out today's low. So we're gonna do that right now. We're gonna Draw a line here with my drawings. We're going to draw a horizontal ray. And this chart is getting noisy, so I'm gonna clean it up soon too. But let's just make this line red, just because we're talking about it and you can all see it. So it's bright red, like ketchup right now. So this was today's low, intraday support at what's this 113.13. Okay, and that's two touches on that, and then we had a high of, I'm gonna make this one green. Let's go 113.97 or whatever that plays out to. Horizontal ray, 0 degree. Bang. Green. Boom. Lock it. All right. So we got a high, we got a support medium, and we got a low. We found a lot of support levels off the levels that we spoke about yesterday. This channel right here, let me zoom back in. You can see we developed this huge channel. The stock provided resistance at this channel's level, whatever it is, and it's really just to segment the channel to show you what side it's going to be on, and kind of how you should protect your capital depending on what side you may fall on. Let's delete that because you saw where I went wrong for today. But again, this channel provided major resistance at the beginning of today's session. You can see we rejected it, and we rejected 112.98. We rejected it again on a lower high, and then we saw a very low test outside of that particular line, and outside of this even smaller channel that we drew. And so if I even just blank the chart out, you can see we took it from 111.33 to 113.97. From 113.97, we'll say back to 112.72, and then we just flatten out for the day because the day was pretty much over. Bringing back the nonsense and the chaos, we can see that it channeled out. So I'm gonna delete these channels because I don't need them right now. But this is how you draw those structures on your chart to segment these trades and these movements and where the stock may be going. And so right now we come back, this particular black line, right? We found ourselves testing that high in yesterday's session in the pre-market, 112.92. We come back to this black line. Where are we? Finding support. So we're finding support at a pre-market high. We tested that high in today's pre-market, and it seemingly was getting rejected off of it, but that didn't last long. The buyer stepped in and got us back into that move, got us back into that flow again, got us back over that dividing line in this channel that says whether we're short-term bullish, short-term bearish, long-term bullish, or whatever the case may be. This is a smaller time frame, so obviously the theory on this one is very short-term. If we go to the 30-minute time frame, you can see the support lines here for 111.33, and tomorrow we'll see how the stock reacts to that level. We'll see how the stock reacts to 112. What is this? 39 or so. 112. Oh yeah, 112.24 to 112.34. We'll see how the stock reacts to that. We'll see how it reacts to, as you can see, this was a sort of like a resistance level, even though it wicked all the way up here to 97. You can see 113.40. So these four levels are going to be in play for tomorrow. Let me make sure this is even. Nah, this go. Boom. All right, so these four levels are in play tomorrow. 111.33, because that was today's low. Halfway point, we're going to go 112.30. And I'll give you four levels then, because yesterday's level still counts. So 111.33, 112.30, and let's say 34, 112.96, 113.40. That's I'm gonna give you five then, and 113.97. So with those five levels, we should find our way tomorrow, and we're gonna mark that level out and make sure my thing is straight here. Nah, I go. So we mark those levels out now, and like I said, we'll see how it plays out. I'm definitely still very bullish as far as my bias goes. We found support, and it kind of shook me out, but my bias is still bullish. And when I get to the point where my conviction and everything it meets what we've analyzed from the day before, it's gonna be on. It's gonna be on. So we're gonna look at some news. Like I said, this crude oil inventory is a major thing, as you can see, even on the weekly chart, because I do still talk about the weekly and how this week we opened up inside as well. So this was 2 weeks ago. This was last week. This week we opened up inside earlier this week at about, what was it, 110.50, right? But now look at us. We're two up from last week. So that was an aggressive move. We found ourselves in the 13s and almost 114. Tomorrow's Friday. Exxon Fridays have been good for the last couple weeks, considering this candle, and this candle. So the last 3 Fridays, we've been able to have either a nice down move or an up move. So let's just even say the last 2 Fridays, we found ourselves going up. So ending the day on a 4-hour on a hammer seems pretty promising. This is a very, very, very clean hammer on a 4-hour chart. I will show you the trading view chart, and this one of these candles on the end is most likely a 3, somewhere in one of those time frames. And like yesterday, we ended the day on a 3 on one of the time frames. We did find support, but you see where we ended up at a new high. So again, we're forming new highs. We're forming higher highs and higher lows. What we talking about, So, but this is a very, very, very nice hammer, even taking us into the aftermarket. If you surmise all of those moves, this is a very nice hammer. So I definitely want to see where we end up. And what else do I have for these smaller time frames? So we discussed the smaller time frames. I gave you 4 levels. I'll shout the levels out again, or 5 levels. 111.13. Let me go back. 111.33. 112.34. 112.90. 113.39 and 113.97. So with those 5 levels, we should find our way. A bonus level, 112.91, but that's just really close. But we should find our way. We had 2 touches intraday. What can you ask for? So right now, it's just based on where the investors want to take it. A week before earnings, tomorrow will be 7 days prior to earnings. The next earnings is October 27th. You know what I'm saying? So, we have an opportunity, like I said, to follow this channel back into and over 115. We have another week to do it. If you look at us on a weekly this week, we touched a low of 1. So, what I'm saying? Look at what we doing, man. Let's go. And we almost touched 114, man. So, solid week. You know what I'm saying? Solid week. Solid week. Solid week, man. So, if we look at these candles from an overall perspective, Today is October the 19th. Tomorrow's the 20th. So we got 19, 18, 17, 16. 16 started the week. We're looking pretty good, man. We're looking pretty solid. You know what I'm saying? So let's go into some news and then let's get out of here. So again, with this crude oil business and the inventory, you can see inventories declined by 4.5 million barrels. And so at -0.03 barrels, if it declines by 4.5 million, that brings us into a nice area where the petroleum reserve remains, unchanged at 351.3 million barrels. So, listen, it says here that the U.S. is not ready to buy more oil at current levels, as additional purchases will serve as a bullish catalyst for oil prices. So even with the U.S. economic data and the way we spend money, definitely oil is a big cost item for the U.S. Obviously, the consumers are the ones who foot the bill, and we pay at the pump. So at the end of the day, oil stock is something that is very interesting for me because oil prices impact my daily life. And for a lot of us out here who drive gas powered cars, even people who own like lawn mowing services and things like that, oil prices mean a lot. People who have fleets of trucks and have to drive around and things like that, oil prices, weather, it's all wrapped up into one. If we go ahead and we take a look, we can definitely see the volume areas filling up. We want to get back to a level over and remain, as far as consistently remain, no tests, no touching, no nothing, over 113. That's definitely going to propel us into the 20s, either before or after earnings, or even in the first week of November. And lastly, the trading view chart from a strat perspective, we show again we're ending the day. We ended the day officially ended the day inside. The post market and the aftermarket still not over. We officially ended the day inside, but toward this second half, this is a 4-hour chart. We three'd again. So that first 4 hours of the market was a 3. The last 4 hours of the market, we finished inside, but that inside also includes, somewhat of a hammer candle in formation. Even though there's a small wick at the top, rather, excuse me, it's shaping out to, or could appear to have that hammer pattern. We're still finding support. We're still finding support at critical levels, so that's good. So it's still, the overall sentiment is bullish. We're forming higher highs and higher lows. So as you can even see from here, last Friday, October the 13th, 107.83 was the support level. Next support level on Monday, 109. Tuesday, we keep going up. So as you can see, the stock continues to form higher highs and higher lows. Higher lows, higher highs. From a 30-minute perspective, we certainly did. Again, end the day on a 3. We 3'd a 1. We 3'd an inside ball. But this was that downtrend that I charted on the other chart, on the Webull chart, that ended flat. But from a 30-minute perspective, we ended on a 3. In terms of the time frame continuity, 30 minutes up, the hourly is up, the 4 hours down, because again, that 4-hour chart had an inside bar, so that's technically down. Daily is up, the weekly is up, monthly and quarterly are down. Because these, as you can see at the top, inside, inside. The O is for outside. These purple O's are 3 O's. So 3 bar O's. Those are outside candles. A 3 is an outside, a 1 is an inside, and 2 is a continuation. Whether it's up or it's down, a 2 is a continuation. So what we want to see on a chart are 2s in whichever direction that we're trading, but that's how you gain momentum when you see 2s. 2 up, 2 downs, it really doesn't matter. We supposed to react to whichever. You can have a bias, but you also overall should react. Like your bias is personal, but the way you react is technical. And then that's how you actually trade, more on a technical level. You never trade your personal feelings or any personal sentiments or anything like that. So again, that's why this chart right here, no emotions, because it just giving you price action. It's ruling out red and green bars and all of those things. And the different colors are tricking your mind and make you think that the stock's going down when it's maybe just finding support. So those red and green candles are there to, give you that infantile concept of how to look at it. But if you look at it from a holistic perspective, you ignore the colors. And that's I ain't trying to go into another topic, but that's just basically how life works in a way. So again, we're gonna wrap this up. I appreciate everybody for tuning in thus far. But as you can see, we ended the day on a 3. Price action is telling you that we could be forming a bullish sentiment again, finding a new high, a new higher high, and a new higher low. This is a 3 bullish reversal. So you had to think about it. Again, what happened yesterday? We ended the day on a 3. This is yesterday right here. We ended the day on a 3. It was somewhat of a hammer, but it did have some selling pressure just a little bit. And we sold off, found that level of support, and channeled back up. This inside candle is the reason why I got out my trade, because a 2 down, and then the next candle inside. If you're not paying attention, I was working, so I couldn't really do all the flip flop, and I was trying to get my money within the first like 30-45 minutes of the market, but it didn't really move until this 10:30 and 11 o'clock candle. So I had things to do, and so I had to get out. But at the end of the day, this is where we ended up, 3 and again on the end of the day. So it looks pretty promising once again. I'm not going to get excited as I was. I think that my excitement kind of faked me out a little bit too. But at the end of the day, like I said, we ended on a 3 ball, which is another level of support. So we going to go with that. We going to go with the support. We obviously can make these trades with the 2 downs. We obviously can channel these trades out. Let's go to small time frame. I did kill those trends, but you can see them from right here, 113.97 to 112.7. That's an amazing trade right there. That's a finding a high based on what? Based on your trend lines, right? Based on your trend lines. Your trend lines are like, they like heat-seeking missiles. You know what I'm saying? They like missiles with like a geographical location on where they're gonna detonate. That's what your trend lines do. They go out there. They do reconnaissance missions. They go out there and they find levels for you before the moving averages get there. They go out there again and find areas of support and resistance before the moving averages and the candlesticks actually get to those levels. Trend lines obviously can go in an angular formation, or they can go flat, linear. We're developing thesis based off price action, based off supports, based off rejections, and overall trends and sell-offs, bullish, bearish, whatever you want to call it. Obviously, a sell-off can't be bullish, but you know what I'm trying to say. I'm just talking at this point. So I'm about to get out of here, but like my man, Eric from Spy Day Trading, he's like, the market left us some clues. Let's tune in. So shout out to my man Spy Day Trading. If you follow Spy Day Trading, go over to his video and tell him I sent you. Or if you never heard of him, go over to his video and tell him I sent ya. Because that dude is a G on the charts, man. I ain't never seen nobody chart like that. And I'm taking a lot of nuggets from him and trying to build my own thesis using that and the strat. And then I should be good, because the way my brain works, I'm like your man Zach Galifianakis in the Hangover. When I'm trying to trade a contract, I'm like, and all the numbers pop up into my head. I'm like, get me out of here and just let me trade. But you can see support and resistance lines are in play. 112, 113. This looks like the line in the sand for investors, buyers and sellers. This looks like that real line in the sand. Like, yo, it's a week before earnings. What y'all gonna do? Either you're on, either you're in or you're out. You're coming or you're going. You know what I'm saying? Remember how you used to be young and you go outside and you got to come back upstairs for water and you like, damn, I'm thirsty. Then 20 minutes later, you come back in the house, go to the bathroom. Then 20 minutes later, you like, oh, I want to sit on the couch. Your mother like, look, boy, you're in or you're out. You either stay outside or you come back. So, long story short, that's where this stock is like. Either you're in or you're out. You're going to gap down or you're going to gap back up. And the overall looks like we're not gonna like go through like significant gaps, even though in the pre-market this morning it gapped down, but again it found a level of support. But as you can see from point A, this two down right here, 111.30. This was this was the two down that we found support at the market open, 111.30, 111.33 ish. Inside 2. We dojied out, but that's to be expected because that was a nice move. Boom, 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 boom. We sold off into support. The bottom of this wick is that following candle after the hammer. So this hammer eradicated all the sellers, and then you seen a more or less like more of a full body take us up. So this was the money maker right here. The threes on this particular stock are more indicators of a sell-off or basically like a buy up or a gap up or momentum up. And what I mean when I say that is like, as you can see, okay, two down, inside, 3, and 2 ups. 2 down, then the next ball was a 3, and then a 2 down. So this was a 2, 3, 2 reversal, but this reversal created a level of support. So it's very interesting how the stock is moving off of those threes. And even if you just want to use a pattern, if you will, 2 down, 1, and a 3 matches this 2 down, 1, and a 3. This is a 2 p.m. candle though, so we can't specifically say what will happen at the market open, considering that this next 2 up was a 2 p.m. candle. But if you're still going on, strat stuff, I don't think this is a combination, but this can create a momentum situation where it's a 3, a 2, and a 2. I don't know why when I'm doing videos, everybody want to call me, but this call is going to have to wait. And so let's just even go back. Inside 1, a 2, 1, 3, and look at this 2 that it created. And this is an opening candle. So even on Tuesday, October 17th, this 2 at the end of the session, inside end of session. We ended the day on a 3 on Monday. The next opening ball on Tuesday was a huge 2 that took us from 109.71 to 110.94. So about $1.20 some odd cents. It took us off of all these support levels, and then all this chop. This is chop suey right here. But we chopped enough, and I don't even really, not even really counting this 3, but this is a significant 3 as well. But we chopped enough to say, all right, we found support. So, getting back to it, look, 2, 1, 3 ball. Next bar is a 2. That's the one we just spoke about. This is a 2 p.m. candle. But even if you want to go from market open perspective, because market open, you know how it is. It's full steam ahead. Everybody's in at the same time. There's thousands, millions of traders that want to get their money in and out the market before like 11:30, 12 o'clock before lunchtime. They want to have made their money. So even if you look at this candle right here, this is an 11 a.m. candle. You see how I dojied out, right? It's an 11 a.m. candle off of a strong move like this. So everybody is here. To everybody that started, maybe even on this 3 from the end of the day and bought calls. Watch themselves go crazy. So let's just say from, what is it called? History, that this 213 on the open, this is the one. 213 on the open could cause a 2-up scenario until lunchtime again. And you got to get your money out at that point. So let's even say 213 and then an open, let's say by 12, 113.94 was the high. Let's mark out a new high and give ourselves about 30 cents on that. So let's draw a line here. Where's my lines? Where the heck is my rifle? On this chart. This is the trading view chart. Bruh. Let's draw a line at 12 o'clock. 114.25. Let's see if we hit that line by 12. So let's see how good the analysis is. And then see, I don't know, but let's just see. 213, that's 2 o'clock. 213, that's an AM ball. Ooh, man, that'd be so sweet if that plays out like that tomorrow. And did we find any support? A little bit. Let's see, from 109.71, this is a high, 110.02. So let's say a 30 cent, let's give ourselves like a total of like a 50 cent retracement. So let's go from this high, this is where the candle closed. 112.97, let's go to, where's that bar? Oh, woohoo! No, I don't want to go that low. Let's say here. Let's say the lower this bar, the lower this 2, or the lower that 2 up. 112. So let's go 112.66. Let's see if we find a level at support at 112.66. If we do find support, or if we go straight up. So let's mark out 112.60. 112. I like 112.64. So let's see when we open tomorrow. And what time will that be? It's 11. So let me move this over to about 10. All right. So this is the trading plan for tomorrow. 113.41 on the trading view chart. See, the strat already marked out the highs. So I like this chart too. The strat already marked out the highs, and this is like a support resistance level. So we can flip this. So even on this chart, even to give you some cleaner levels from this chart, 112.61 is our opening low, or our daily low for tomorrow. And this is just speculation too. So let's just, we playing the game. So 112.61 is our opening level for tomorrow. Our halfway point support resistance flip level will be 113.39. And let's see if we could tap 114.25 if we happen to reject off of that line, or if we exceed it. Let's see if we can tap 114.25 tomorrow. All right, so I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Today has been another great video, another great trading session. I am here to answer questions about Exxon, and eventually I will be doing TA and technical analysis on other tickers. But as of right now, this particular playlist and overall stock channel within the channel is going to just be for ExxonMobil. But with that said, it's been a wonderful 35 minutes of talking and analysis. So I'm out, man. Appreciate y'all. It's why me. You already know.